I wanted to ask about Love, Simon in particular, and Love, Victor, in terms of their movie presentation or their visual presentation, of course, come off in a very rom-com-esque sort of way, which is, we know well that genre of TV and film. And of course, Love, Simon, I guess, is the closest corollary we have to a young adult, romance-like book. It's not a Danielle Steele novel, but what I'm getting at is when I finally got around to watching the movie and then reading your books and talking with friends and mentioning it, who are similarly in the LGBTQIA field, they say they're great, love the movie, love the books, but they're not really realistic. That's what I heard a lot. I thought, well, they spoke to me in a lot of ways, so it was realistic in some ways for me. Not entirely, but it was. And not just because it's a gay teen, but because I felt like there was a lot in there about how angsty teens' life can be and how hard it is to navigate the next years of your life not knowing what they're going to be like and being so afraid of the end of high school. Are your books generally meant then to be reflective of experiences or maybe aspirational toward these broader themes that we see in romance novels that, they're not realistic, they're aspirational because they make us feel good?
Well, I think there are a bunch of different kind of threads that I'm sort of catching on this question. First, I want to definitely say I actually do call my books rom-coms, either rom-com or coming of age. And that I think for me, that's just because kind of within publishing, when you label your book a romance, I think within publishing that has a specific meaning with specific conventions, so I definitely want to be careful about doing is kind of marketing my books as romances and then having readers go in with a certain set of expectations and then possibly finding that my books, which were not written those in mind, may violate those expectations. Yeah, but I wouldn't call mine necessarily that genre, but it's really interesting kind of putting a book like that out there. And I think this is true of every book. I know this is certainly an experience that I share with my friends, have kind of had, the similar disorienting experience of having a ton of feedback come in, and some of it is directly contradictory, but it is all coming from a very authentic place for that reader. And it really reminds you how much our own experiences serve as this filter for what we read. So you end up with, I would say a subset of readers, have said that Simon, is really fun, but it's definitely unrealistically carefree, kind of, everything's, just a little too easy for Simon. It's very much aspirational in that way. And then some people read it, they're kind of upset to read it and realize, whoever recommended to them has been calling it a fluffy rom-com. And maybe they even liked the book. Maybe that reader even enjoyed the book, but they considered it traumatic. Forced outing, is a part of it. And, so you end up having people watching this film who think, this is absolutely the most ridiculously sanitized, I can't connect to this at all. This kid has a perfect life. And you have people who are triggered by Simon being forced out and Simon's friends, there's some complexity around their reactions to him coming out that was upsetting for certain people watching it.